being a part of ECOWAS. Well, there's been a coup in Niger, and that has gotten everybody talking. There's also a plan for military intervention, which we saw the deadline expiring, the other day. Does this remind you of something similar, that had happened in the Gambia?
Yeah, I mean, I think first of all, at the whole ECOWAS region, we want stability, all right? Because without stability, development is going to be very difficult to take place. Within the ECOWAS region, we have seen those countries that are most stable are the ones that prospers most, you know. And I think even I can say we always talk about Cape Verde, Cape Verde Island. Cape Verde Island is, had independence in the mid 70s. All right, one of the poorest in this sub-region. But now they are the only middle-income country in this sub-region. Why? Because of stability. People feel confident in as far as the democratic processes are concerned, and I think this is something that we have to encourage in ECOWAS as a whole. All right. It's unfortunate that this thing has happened, but I am confident that the heads of state and government in ECOWAS, I think they are saying that diplomacy is the first point. Like you mentioned, in our case, during the impasse, you see a lot of people moving out of the country. All right, because if people don't feel safe, they have to run away, and then that creates more instability as far as the country is concerned. So we hope that peace will come back to Niger, and of course democracy will also continue to prevail in that country. So stability comes back to enable development to take place.
Well, about the military intervention, what is the stand of the Gambia?
I mean, the stand of the Gambia is alongside with that of ECOWAS to make sure that diplomacy is the preferred approach, and even in the communique they have said that military intervention is a last resort. So that is what is the Gambia is agreeing to as far as the whole ECOWAS is concerned.
Well, there seem to be more sanctions on Niger than what we saw, on Mali, Burkina Faso, and Guinea. Why do you think that is so?
I mean, I think experience also in the past. We have seen that, I think, in the past, some sanctions were imposed on Nigeria by people of Nigeria, and I think they have seen success. Hopefully, they feel that this time there's more chance of success. And of course, we have to remember that each country is different. Circumstances are different. Hopefully, and I think as we have to, first of all, accept that as far as ECOWAS is concerned, there is still a president in place. All right, because I don't think there is any indication of resignation or whatever. So that is still the recognized, head of state. So as part of their protocols are concerned, we have to follow what is agreed when such incidents occur.
Well, Your Excellency, there are also some concerns that ECOWAS over time has failed to be ECOWAS of the people. And there seems to be divide among countries in ECOWAS on some issues. How can we make ECOWAS of the people?
I mean, we have to accept that there are some legacies. There are some legacies. We want to come together as ECOWAS, but at sometimes also countries want to now be closing into themselves. We always argue if we want to have ECOWAS of people, we have to now forget about the borders. All right, the borders have to be open, but in some countries will have open borders, and other countries will bring in some more restriction. And again, unless we integrate our economies, it's going to be a challenge. It's going to take some time, but I guess as we allow more movement of people, it's going to be much easier. I think that notwithstanding, we have to agree that ECOWAS actually have moved faster than many other sub-regions. Now, because some of us who travel in other regions, they will always be surprised how easy ECOWAS citizens are moving in and out. Maybe with goods it becomes difficult, but for people to move is actually much easier than in other sub-regions of the continent. But there is still some work that needs to be done.
Well, still on ECOWAS, Your Excellency, a lot of people believe that there may still be coups in other countries. That's the fear, actually, and that's because of the long stay in power by some leaders in ECOWAS? How can we change that narratives?
I think, again, how long a person stays in power should depend on the people. I think the narrative should be, let's make sure that we have some democratic institutions that people feel confident in. I mean, however long one person stays, you cannot justify that by a military coup. The people can be dissatisfied, the youths can be dissatisfied, but let's work together to make sure that we create more opportunities for the youths and make sure that there is confidence as far as the democratic institutions of the states are concerned. This is my view.
Should one term be enough for a president?
It depends on the people. All right? It depends on the people. First of all, we have to know that there is continuity in government. Right? There is continuity in government. If the systems are in place, whether one term, two term, or whatever, I mean, I don't think that matters. All right? Some people can achieve a lot within one term. Others may achieve 2 or 3 terms to whatever their program is. But what is important is the will of the people